All right, y'all, we are back. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday right here. November 1st, y'all, the first day of November. Day one of the fall, baby. It's about to go down. Like I say every week, y'all, here we go, here we go, here we go. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve after dark to concerts in the park. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Me and my boy Dusty, gonna drop another one just like we do every Tuesday, y'all. Stick around today. We got a special guest. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Dusty One.
Lonzo, how you doing tonight, man?
Man, just another one bites the dust, dude.
Another one bites. Let's talk about it, man. I had a whole completely show ready for today. Took a lot of notes last night getting ready, but as I woke up, Takeoff from the Migos, a very popular group, was shot last night in Houston. And I'm going to give everybody a update before we bring our guest on, Shepard. Very popular Takeoff, dude. This one hit really, it really kind of sucks because I'm hearing, Lonzo, that due to a video that just came out, TMZ released a video of the moments leading up to the shooting. And Quavo, which is part of the Migos, was arguing with another gentleman over basketball. Yes, you heard me right, ladies and gentlemen, over basketball. You see things get heated, and then Quavo walks off the screen. Next thing you hear pop, 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 just 10 shots, people scrambling, people dropping. And I'm hoping that this rapper did not die over basketball, dog, but that's what it's seeming like.
See, this is what happens when you let the kids run the house. This is what happens when you let the niggaverse become the universe of hip hop. This is some niggaverse shit right here, man. My boys on Boondocks always said, that's a nigga moment. This is a nigga moment in the niggaverse. And a brother lost his life. He was at a crap game, 2:30 in the morning, probably outside in the parking lot. I'm not sure, but 2:30 in the morning, most clubs are closed. Well, bowling alley probably was closed by 2:30. Okay.
Just so you know, Stan says he's on, so finish this thought up, and then we can see if we can get him on.
I don't see him in the dugout nowhere.
Okay. All right.
And first of all, why would somebody his stature be outside shooting dice at 2:30 in the morning? That don't make no sense. I'm not blaming him for the circumstances, but I can blame him for not having common sense not to put himself in that position. Okay? A lot of rappers think because they got a couple of dollars and they got love in the hood, they still got love in the hood. No. A lot of cats are jealous. A lot of cats are envious. And a lot of cats just don't like you because you outshine them, man. When you come into the room, all eyes on you. And I'm not saying that's the case, but when you carry a certain kind of a level of stature, when you walk into the room, some people don't like that because they could have been the focus of attention until you walked in the room. Okay. Basketball conversation breaks out. Now I don't know how true that is, but
this just came out about an hour ago, and you could clearly hear, it sounded like that was the case, according to a bunch of eyewitnesses. This is the newest info, because all day they were saying it was a dice game at a bowling alley. They were shooting craps or whatever. But the latest is apparently that it was over basketball. And once again, we have to say allegedly, like you said.
Allegedly, they're arguing over basketball, or arguing over something that has no real value to anybody, but somebody is so punkified, they have to pull out a gun and just start spraying people because they can't have their way. That's the ultimate temper tantrum. That's the ultimate temper tantrum. So for somebody to pull out a gun because I can't have my way, whether I lose my money or my opinion is not respected regarding who's the best basketball player, who won the score. I don't know. But I bet you whatever it was, if you can rewind the tape of life right now and play it back, and it wasn't worth it, dude. It wasn't worth it. And that's the part we keep talking about on this show on a regular basis. It ain't worth it. That 10 seconds to shoot off 10 shots, killing one man and wounding some other people. Everybody know who it was. Everybody know who it was.
Yeah, this guy's going to be caught within 24 hours. We'll be doing an update next week.
Stan is calling me. Hold on there. What's up with you, Stan?
What's up, Alonzo? How you doing, young man?
We're trying to get you on the screen, Doc. What happened?
I know. I got my man here trying to help me, and we're trying to do it right now. So I don't know.
He sounds good. He sounds good. We can do phone if you want.
You own the show right now. My phone is tied to my mixer, so we can talk to you right here.
Yeah, you sound great.
I was trying to get it. You know,
I want you on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, well, keep on doing your thing. We're gonna be here for an hour, maybe a little bit longer today. So
okay,
if it don't work in a few more minutes, just call me back. We'll do it from the phone.
Okay, cool.
All right, Doc.
We're working on it right now.
You got it. Cool.
Perfect. All right, cool. Stan the guitar man. Stan Shepard, everybody. All right, keep going, Lonzo.
See, this is why this is my show is a reality show. I don't edit. I don't cut out a bunch of nothing. Okay, that happened live right here with y'all, with your boy, folks. So that's how I roll. That's how I roll. I got spoiled having a public access show. So whatever happens, that's what happens. This is real. This ain't no cut edited bullshit. I mean, nothing wrong with editing, but because I like keeping my shit 100, that's what I do. Bottom line, man. This is. People. I think people need to take a minute and just step back and look at us and everybody else. Okay, let's look at this for a minute, man. Look at us.
Break it down.
Versus everybody else, man. Come on, dude. Let's get 100 for a minute. One group with a phone call can change your life. Okay, can change your life. If you say something they don't like, they can change your life, man. All right, I'm not gonna call no names. I'm not getting all that right there, but you know what I'm talking about. You know the situation. It's been the #1 headline for the past 10 days. Meanwhile, and mind you, no amount of money can change that position, because my man was representing a whole lot of money. Your money don't mean nothing. Meanwhile, on our camp, if you're making a few dollars, any and everything will be accepted. If you're making a few dollars, if you're clocking some dollars, wearing some gold chains, driving to whatever the case may be, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can represent anything you want to. We don't care as long as you're making some money and making us feel good. That's some bullshit. Long term, baby, that's some bullshit. Because we've allowed so much to go wrong in this culture called hip hop. And we've stood by and accepted it. And we for some reason we process things differently. Oh man, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. You know what the game was? No. This is a game that we created, but we're the only ones lose at the motherfucker. Okay? We created a game that we lose. How is it that you create a game that you can't win in? Help me understand this. How do you create a game and you always looking up at the bottom? Everybody else gets their paper. Everybody else makes their money. But when it comes to us, we losing our lives. And the cold part about it is, man, when you think about this, I had a conversation, because this conversation, this is like my third or fourth conversation today about this situation. And I said, you know what? It's a doggone shame that we have allowed youngsters to run the house. The house of hip hop is being ran by children, literally children. This boy's 28 years old. I got a couple of folks in my family. I got a couple of kids older than him.
My son is almost 20. Yeah, man.
Okay, but because they make a couple of dollars, they can promote whatever they want to promote, say whatever they want to say about us and anybody else. Meanwhile, across town, you can't say nothing good or bad about some folks, and we don't keep us out your mouth. Meanwhile, we are the #1 purveyors of degradation to our own community, #1 killers of ourselves. Okay.
Yep.
#1. Yes, Cat Williams said it best. He says, man, when the policeman kills somebody, the murder rate in the hood goes down because we all focused on something else. As soon as that attention is off of that, we go right back to something, go back to business as usual. Okay. And that's very true, man. That's very true. It's very disheartening. I mean, I got this email. First thing, I woke up my eyes.
Same here. I went to take a. I took a whiz in the morning at like 5:30, and I always look at my phone as I'm whizzing, probably peeing everywhere all over the thing. And I thought it didn't register. I was like, nah, not really, because this is a big one. Like this is I hate no disrespect to the other rappers who have lost, but this is a big one.
But this is like 2 for Houston in the last past 30 days.
Yes, sir.
This is 2 for Houston in the last past 30 days. Okay, so they say LA is hot. Hey, Houston got a little heat too. Okay. Meanwhile, 14 people got shot last night for Halloween. 3 of them was kids.
Wow.
Okay. You know, I'm gonna say this, man. I hope they don't get mad at me. Don't take this the wrong way, folks. Please don't. And I'm gonna say this, and I got to say it because I said it earlier. If the rappers were saying the same exact lyrics were white, we'd be in an uproar. Okay. All the niggas, all the bitches, all the hoes. Okay. If the rappers were still black and we took bitches, hoes, and niggas and replaced it with puppies, gays, or anything else, that shit wouldn't last no time. Did you ever see that video I told you about with White Mike?
We played a few clips, and I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've been dibbling and dabbling. I fucking love that guy.
This dude says what I'm saying right now. I borrowed it from him. Okay,
but he's a white guy. You got to keep it terrible. He's a white dude.
He's a white dude, and he saw it. He sees it, and it's amazing what we will support in the name of money. Okay, and some folks, some groups will not tolerate shit. No matter how much money you got, how much money you making. Kanye made the mistake of saying he could say some anti-Semitic stuff on and it wouldn't get canceled from Adidas. Psych. Okay. Psych. You've been hanging with Donald Trump too long, Doc. That don't work. That don't work like that. And you know, my boy he got issues. He got points. He got issues. He got his own agenda. But it's just amazing what we do. I look at us first. I gotta look at us first. Yeah, we got some issues.
Stan Shepard joined.
There you go. Yes, we got issues. We got some issues, but I think we got to look at our own house first, man, because you know these things are not. If I was a cop, oh man, we'd be all over the place right now. We'd be everywhere. We'd be out there ready to burn down every damn thing. Meanwhile, it's a brother. They're looking for him. They're gonna find him. He's gonna go to jail. He's gonna catch hell in jail. But you know, till the next rapper gets killed, it'll just be a conversation for the internet. And after that, it's going to go right back to business as usual. I've been seeing the same trend since Tupac and Biggie got killed, man. I've been seeing this for the last 30 years. It don't change, man. See, oh, man, we need to stop this, need to stop that. All that podcast shit, that shit sound good. But as soon as they get back to the studio, and here's the cold part. Everybody can't wait to be a gangster. And that shit don't work for nobody. Stan Shepard.
Stan Shepard. Can I give him a proper introduction?
Please do.
Let me give you a nice intro, Stan. Definitely a pleasure to have you on the show. Everyone out there, please hit the like button. First of all, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. You could check out his book, Sharks, Demons, and Gangsters, available wherever books and audiobooks can be sold. He's a music executive who has worked with a lot of people. His background goes back to even before he was around. And we are going to get into that. And we're also going to talk about a movement that all of us have in common. We're all representing Hood Peace tonight. And we're joined, ladies and gentlemen, Stan Shepard. How are you, brother?
Man, it's a pleasure to be talking to you two young men. And thank you so much for that gracious introduction.
Thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, we had a situation, I guess, kind of perfect timing. Unfortunately, we just lost Takeoff, a popular rapper from the MIGOS group. Before we get into your background, what are your thoughts on this latest loss to hip hop and just the fact that we're losing so many rappers?
Let me put it to you like this. And, you know, sometimes I've been told that I'm too direct with my speech, but I'm so sick of this gangsterism. I'm so sick of this, how would you call it, this indiscriminate killing of young black men and women. It's just, it's tiring. And quite frankly, I'm just sick of it. And that's a young man that, you know, I did not know him, but it doesn't matter. That's a life that's lost that didn't have to be that way. I mean, come on, man, you're in a bowling alley shooting dice, shots come out. Come on, man. I mean, it just never stops. You got to understand something. I've been dealing with death in Compton and Watts and South Central since 1995. And it never seems to stop. It's always some drama somewhere, somehow. And it just seems like young black folks don't care about each other anymore. It's just disintegrating into some bull crap. I'm trying to keep my words right, but
you can cuss if you want, whatever you're feeling, brother.
You rolling with me, Doc?
It's just so tiring, bro. It really is. And Alonzo knows my record company. I had to shut down my record company because we had so many murders. Every time I turned around, there was a murder. Now you look up and this young man Takeoff is dead. For what? For what?
Somebody couldn't get their way, sound like.
It's always like that. It's always some fool in the mix that's got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah.
Trying to prove something.
Yeah.
And in the end, he ain't shit.
He ain't shit. He gonna go to jail and become a bitch.
Yep.
He going to jail.
Can I use certain language on here?
Feel free. You rolling with
whatever
Lonzo.
you want. Just stay away from the J Crew.
Stan.
I'm just gonna say this. Ain't no bigger gangsters than what I dealt with on the West Coast. None. From Pyro to Brim to Crip, Compton Crip, all. You know what? Anybody that will talk to you that has any clout and any history will tell you this shit ain't worth it, man. This shit ain't worth it.
Ain't no win.
It ain't. It's a no-win situation. And I just want, I really want to talk to these young men, and that's what I've been doing. It's like, man, do we have to gang bang 24/7? Is it every day gang banging? What is this bullshit, man?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna tell me about nothing. You ain't gonna educate me about nothing with no gang banging. 18 murders at Shepard Lane.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's just tiring, man. Lonzo knows what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
Yes, sir.
When does it stop?
Let's before we would continue with the mission, because it's a very important mission, let's give everybody a quick, not even quick, please take as much time as you want, because I'm a historian, especially when it comes to hip hop. I love this stuff. But I would love to tell everybody about your background, Mr. Shepard, and even go back to your father. I know your father was a gangster, and you've said this on several shows and interviews and things, so I'm not speaking out of line, but he was also known as the godfather of payola. Now, Lonzo is very familiar with payola. Not our audience, though. Can you talk to us about your father and how you got into the music game?
Well, first of all, I was born in what they say in the industry, they call it being born in the purple. And that means I saw the blueprint of what was laid down to start black music in America. Now you must understand something. I consider myself, and there's no doubt about this, and this is not patting myself on the back, I have just been around for 47 years from Chicago to Compton, and I know what it takes to make a hit record. My father and my uncle started the first black record company in America, not Motown. My father, Bunky Shepard, my uncle, Ewart Abner, and Vivian Carter and Jimmy Bracken, those four people started VJ Records, which was the first black-owned major record company in the United States. Now, not only were they the first, they signed the Beatles.
Act.
Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right.
Oh, I'm
They
hip. Tell
signed
them.
the Beatles, and the name of the album was Introducing the Beatles. And VJ Records, unfortunately, just like any black record company in the United States, was having difficulty getting financing. So they had to let the group go, and they did a deal with Capitol Records where the Beatles are still at today. That's history. Now,
real history.
Also, in my basement at my house in Chicago, we used to have a little recording studio where the Dells used to come, the Shylights, Gene Chandler. Gene Chandler recorded the Duke of Earl in my basement.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it when he came in with a cape draped around him.
Oh, cape. Okay.
So when I'm talking to you about this, I'm giving you history. Now, after my dad and my uncle and VJ disbanded, my father and my uncle, Ewart Abner, were contacted by Motown, were contacted by Berry Gordy. And Mr. Gordy asked my dad and my uncle to come over to Motown to take over the company, which they did in 1978, and led the company to their most prosperous times.
And led to you bunking with the Jacksons also, right, for a time period.
I grew up with the Jacksons. I did talent shows. I'm from Chicago on the south side, and they're from Gary, Indiana, which is like Compton and Watts. That's how far the difference is. 10, 15 minutes. So we developed a relationship with one another, and we kept that relationship up until this very day. As a matter of fact, when I moved out to Los Angeles, Miss Jackson considered me one of her sons, and she let me live with them. So believe me, I represented the family for 2 years. Jermaine and I went into business together. And I'm just saying this to say, I've done business at a level that most people have never and will never do business at. This is not, again, this is not a situation to say, oh, look at me. No, it's just I've been doing this for 47 years at the top level. And it's just what it is.
I have a question for you, and I would love you and Lonzo to chat about this, because I feel like you would have some similarities or you would understand this. But I was listening to one of your interviews, Mr. Shepard, and when you came into the game, you were given advice from someone. And that advice was not to let the rappers you work with smile. Can you please explain to us what happened back in the day when a rapper smiled?
Well, you must understand, when I left Motown, I was working in Motown as a writer-producer, and I was producing R&B love songs. I produced for the Temptations, I produced for the Pointer Sisters, Gerald Alston, the Manhattans. I did a lot of hit records. So when I got into rap music, it was in 1994 with DJ Battle Cat. We hooked up. He went into the studio. He said, Stan, I want to work with you. I had talked with Harry O. We had bonded together at that time because Harry O was working with Battle Cat. And we developed a great relationship. And we started recording from there. And it was just an incredible journey that I went on. And let me say this to you. DJ Battle Cat introduced me to DJ Quick because DJ Battle Cat was the first artist I ever worked with. And let me say this. I was the first person to ever have a gangster rap label at Capitol Records. I had a label called G-Vine Entertainment. And I launched several artists through there. And during that time, Battle Cat introduced me to Quick. We developed a great relationship. And 12 years later, Quick and I worked together. It was just a lovely situation.
And that, talk to me, because I want to know specifically about the smiling thing. Apparently, if a gangster rapper smiled, their record sales went down 50%.
Yeah, it's like, the only way I can say it, when I got into the game, I was 52 years old. And people told me, they said, Stan, you can't have your rappers show their teeth. And I said, what do you mean you can't have the rappers show their teeth? Said if they show their teeth, they look weak. I said, oh, really? So this is all entertainment then? They said, yeah, basically. So I looked back at all the West Coast albums that had come out before I got into the rap game, and they were right. There were no teeth being shown. Everybody was snarling. And that's the only thing that was moving units. So I told everybody on my label, not that they were going to smile, but we couldn't have it.
Lonzo, what say you about that, man?
Man, you know what? He got me laughing because I was never told not to smile. But on our first album, I don't think we smiled on any of our album covers. He wasn't pushing gangster rap. I don't think I have to look at. I don't know. I know my first album cover. I wasn't smiling. Nobody was smiling. We had this kind of just straight face. Looks like a blank fake look on our faces, and we never in the Wrecking Crew was not a gangster rap group by no means. And on the second album we did, Wrapped in Romance, I don't think we showed no teeth on that one either.
Hey, Lonzo, I really looked back, and now remember, I'm being educated, right? I'm not knowing what's going on, right? And
right.
They said, Stan, you got Sugar Free coming out, you got Mossberg, you got Quick, you got Cocaine, you got DJ Battle, all these people. There ain't nobody smiling, man.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, nobody's gonna smile on my label. You ain't got to tell me twice.
Right. Man. You know what? I know everybody has questions. Did you want to say something, Lonzo?
No, I'm looking at this. Somebody in the chat room was trying to fuck with me. Black Basketball Channel talk about I was wearing makeup. I still was the hardest motherfucker. Okay, still beat the nigga's ass. So don't get it twisted.
With mascara and all shit.
What you say, Lonzo?
I wash my face and whoop your ass. Don't get it fucked up. Okay.
Hey Lonzo, this is the first time I've ever spoken with you. I really have a lot of respect for you, young man, and I'm glad that we finally connected. You're very,
It's
very
amazing.
gracious young
It's
man.
amazing we haven't met before, Stan.
Pardon me?
That's amazing because when Battle Cat came to me, he was 17. I took him on
Right.
I took him on the road with me, and he left. He only went on one tour with me. He did one little DJ record, and he left and started doing his own thing. And I missed DJ Quick. You know, he was one of the few acts out of Compton that I did have anything to do with. But he's mad because he's not in my downline. He said, "Man, I was at Dudos every week, K-Land too, so I should be in your downline too." But I didn't have nothing to really physically do with him. I can't recall him being at my house. I can't say that. And my credibility is so important. I won't just say something just to be saying it. But I'm amazed that you and I have not crossed paths. Because everybody you mentioned, I know. And you know wasn't a whole lot of games back then, man. You know, people to deal with this stuff. And it's just amazing that we haven't crossed paths. That's all.
Exactly. Well, everything in its proper time, I guess.
That's true.
It's a pleasure right now to be here. And I really wish you guys all of the luck with what you do. You're very classy young men.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. And it's definitely a pleasure to have you on. I have a couple more questions before we move on because your history goes pretty deep, and I'm a big DJ Quick fan, especially Sugar Free. But let's talk about Sugar Free. How did you and Sugar Free link up?
Sugar Free, this is very interesting because Compton is broken down into two sections, basically, east side, west side. And a lot of my partners are on both sides. So, long story short, my guy that I always check with and my backbone in Compton is a young man by the name of Lee Ford. And so Lee Ford, he's over from Ludus Park area. He called me and he said, "Stan, there's a young man by the name of Mossberg, and there's a young man by the name of Sugar Free that Black Tone was my business partner. And we all started to huddle about the different acts that were coming that we could get through Shepherd Lane. That was our label, my label. Shepherd Lane was Stan Shepard and Tony Lane. And so Sugar Free, we worked to get him out of prison. And when Sugar Free came out of prison, he was fired up, ready to go. And we were a brand new label. And we were fired up and ready to go. So everything worked in conjunction. And so told me, he says, "Stan," he says, "Sugar Free is hot. And the streets of Compton, both the east side and the west side of Compton, is feeling him." I said, "Okay." I said, "Let me take it outside of Compton and let me see what's happening in South Central, Watts, and everything else." I said, "I'm going to get back to you in 2 weeks." And so when I got back to him in 2 weeks, guess what? Everybody said, "No, Sugar Free ain't going to work."
Yeah, he's too weird.
I said, wait a minute. And my people in Compton told me this is going to work. And I trust my people. So my job was to go forward and to convince the music industry that Sugar Free was an artist that should be taken seriously and my label should be taken seriously. And it took about 3 months. Finally, after Power 106 rejected me, I went to the beat. When they heard Sugar Free, by the time it got to the first hook, They said, Stan, you got a hit.
If you stay
We gonna break.
ready, you
Yes,
ain't
if you
got to
stay
get
ready.
ready.
Understand something. Why this is so special to me is because this was my first single that I ever promoted, ever did everything with. I went to malls passing out CDs. I went to gas stations. I went everywhere. I did everything I had to do. It didn't matter. I knew I had a hit artist because my people in Compton told me I had a hit artist, and I believed them. I didn't know. I'm 52 years old. How do I know? I'm coming from R&B music. I got to trust my people or get out of the business. And that's what I learned. And so when I kept pushing sugar free, guess what? It happened. It happened. It started to catch fire. And now
Yeah,
everybody's calling back, talking about, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
he was an
So
amazing,
believe me, it was an experience.
he was an amazing artist. And I only have so much time, so I want to move on, and because I really want to talk with you about the bulk of our subject tonight, which is the drill music and the gangster rap and things like that. But I'm going to lead into tonight's main subject by asking you a question about a big event that you were indirectly part of, where one of the greatest MCs lost his life. I'm talking about Biggie Smalls. Keithy D made some comments saying that he believes DJ Quick and Theo from 92.3 The Beat set up Biggie Smalls in LA, which led to him being killed on March 9th, 1997. Apparently, you were in the same vicinity of Biggie that night, and I know you have some comments on that. Can you share with our audience what those comments are?
The night that Biggie Smalls was killed, DJ Quick and I were at the same location where the function was going down, where we all were attending. DJ Quick and I were standing next to him. We all exchanged pleasantries. There was no negatives. And Biggie acknowledged each other. I acknowledged Biggie. We all acknowledged each other. Got in their car and they turned the corner. The rest is history. Okay. DJ Quick had nothing to do with anything involving that. I had nothing to do with anything involving that, so the lies need to stop. There was even lies going around that I personally was hiding DJ Quick from the LAPD, which is a bunch of horse manure, because people tell lies. Quick, he's a musician, he's not a gangster. So stop putting that out there and stop putting our name in some negativity where it shouldn't be. And I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. And speaking of not a gangster, and this all correlates with what we're going to be discussing tonight, can you explain from your perspective the background of DJ Quick's song, Not a Gangster, and how it spawned from an unfortunate situation, I think at a Quincy Jones party?
What happened, when I came on to manage DJ Quick, I came on in 1990, the end of 1994, and there was a death threat on this young man. With the death threat that was on DJ Quick, that death threat was transferred to me as his manager. Anything could be taken lightly. And DJ Quick, from what I was not at the venue, DJ Quick was not the person who was involved in killing this young man, from what I understand. I was not there. From what I heard, it was not that situation. Now, when I was working with David is DJ Quick, when I went to his house, he called me and he said, Stan, come over. I want you to hear something. So when I went to his house, he started to play me this song called I'm Not a Gangster. Because I knew what he was going through with the death threats, for him to create a song such as this, to tell the Crip Nation that he was not what they were making him to be, I had to take my, I had to give him the props because I could just imagine what he was going through. And I know that everywhere he had to go and everywhere we went, it was under the threat of death in Los Angeles. That's no joke. This was not a situation that we could take lightly. Didn't want anything to do with the negativisms. I mean, I don't even know what to say other than what I'm saying right now. It's just, it destroyed him too. It wasn't, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but just know.
Wow.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Let's move on to more recent events and a post that caught my eye. Someone shared it, then I shared it, and I shared it with Lonzo, and we were like, we got to get Mr. Shepard on the show. But I'm going to say the post that you posted, Mr. Shepard, and I'm going to sit back and just let you and Lonzo chat about this because this is everything we talk about. And I just want to hear two brothers who are tired of this shit, you and him, just talk about this. But Stan Shepard posted, and I quote, Stan Shepard says to all Black music executives, stop funding and promoting Black murder music. Support Stan Shepard's movement to not play gangbang music during school hours. And then you put your email. If anybody wants to contact him, it's stanshepard2020@gmail.com. What prompted this post? And I'm just going to sit back and I want you guys to talk about this, please.
Everybody knows that Los Angeles is twice as big as Chicago in population. Now, I just did some research about a week ago. In Los Angeles, it's less than 260 murders for the year. In Los Angeles, we have, as of today, 607 murders. We have 2,857 people wounded. We have 1,380 people paralyzed from gangbang. And guess what? It just seems like nobody gives a shit. I keep talking about it. I keep telling people about it. I keep calling the record companies, and nobody gives a shit. I said, how many of you people seen some brains blown out? Oh, Stan, you're always angry. You're always talking this. Guess what? I'm tired of seeing Black Death. I'm tired of the record companies making money off of Black Death. Come to Chicago. Come on this south side. Come to 79th Street with me. I'm out in these streets. I ain't talking and I ain't walking. I'm out in these streets from the west side to the south side, and I'm sick of it. Spilling black blood everywhere. And guess what? Now we pissing on graves. Now we pissing on black graves, huh?
Yep. Disrespecting
Now we
the
smoking.
ops.
Now we smoking ashes of black people. And guess what I just read this morning? That's gonna blow your mind. Universal just made a $10 billion profit. $10 billion. That's just Universal. Guess what is fueling the money?
Black Death.
Black Death. And when I call the record companies, they say, Stan, man, we don't want to hear that bullshit you're talking about. Black folks want death music. Did you hear what I said?
I heard you. I'm
Yep.
quiet.
Oh, we are just.
When I get quiet, I'm listening.
I haven't heard anybody with this much passion since. Yep.
I'm so sick of this bullshit, man. These motherfuckers talking about old block, motherfucker. I drive past old block 3 times a fucking week. Ain't nothing over there but banging. You looking at a light-skinned motherfucker that's on these streets, motherfucker. I don't care who you talking to. I've been in Compton for 27 years. I've been in Watts for 27 years. I've been in South Central. My son, I have 2 adopted sons. My one adopted son is a very active shot caller with Rolling 60. My other son is a very active shot caller with Fudgetown Mafia Crip. I'm not talking no bullshit that I don't know. I'm tired of this Black Death. And you no good motherfuckers at these record companies, you're pushing it.
Yes.
And you won't fucking talk to me. I'm not trying to do nothing wrong to you. I'm trying to some bullshit that's killing some black folks on a daily. I can't get no help.
You know, Stan, let me say something for a minute. What I realize is 1 or 2 men standing up and saying something ain't enough, and we got enough power to stop it on our own. We got to get some organizations, some churches, some organizations with some political power behind us to make this situation stick. In Jamaica, they banned all gangster rap. Period. Fuck school hours. They just said fuck it. You can't play that shit no more. I agree with what you're saying, but I think we have to ban it. Period, Doc, because it don't make no sense. It has no purpose other than to kill black folks.
Guess what I'm asking, Lonzo? Guess what I'm asking you guys? I'm pushing in Chicago. I'm not talking about censorship. All I'm saying is, can we hold off on playing gangbang music during school hours? Play what you want in the evening, but goddamn, the killers are under 21. Those are the steppers. Those are the hitters that are out here. So all I'm asking is, radio stations, pull back on playing the gangbang music until the evening time.
I say 10 o'clock. Shit, fuck it. After school is still too early. 5 o'clock is the prime time. I think 10 o'clock. Shit. I think it should be off the air, period, Doc. I'm sorry. I'm saying there's certain shit that just our kids should. We don't protect our kids fully. You can't have nobody playing porno after. You can't play porno till after school. You can't get porno. You ain't supposed to get porno, period. I understand because of the internet, they get it more often than they're supposed to. But we got to at least make the effort to keep our kids protected from this shit on a bigger scale. That's just my personal opinion. I'll support you in any way you possibly can, but I think we need to go bigger and go after some of these goddamn sponsors that's paying for this shit. I was telling Dusty, there's a video by a guy named White Mike. He said he listened to the radio up and down the channel, and all he heard was Black Death, Black Death, Black Death. And he went to the programmer. He said, "Man, if we were talking about the Jewish community, would you still play?" He said, "Oh no, because the Anti-Defamation League would have a fit." If you're talking about the gay community, "Oh no, I wouldn't play it because the LGBTQ community would have a fit." If I was, what we talking about killing puppies? "Oh no, because Peter would have a fit." So why do you play black music that perpetuates black death? And he says, because it all depends who the artist is and who's willing to pay for it, who the sponsors. And that's where that's where the problem is, because we haven't addressed the sponsors of this shit. The people, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to make money. If you find a way to interrupt the cash flow and make the cash flow redirected for something more positive, that's where the money will go. That's my opinion.
I can't even do anything to even debate that what you said. It's all correct. And it's like, Dusty, it's a situation where if you really look around at hip hop, I hate to say this, man, but it is so degrading to the black race.
Yep.
It's so degrading, man. And it's like, I know we hear it all the time, but man, you don't hear no other race, no other genre of music cussing each other out. You know what I'm saying? It's just the ignorance is just so, I don't even know how to describe it, but there's one thing I do want to say that which was so important, because I just read this statement, you guys. I read this statement about two weeks ago, and it was from the incoming president. Listen to me real closely on this. This is going to trip you out. The new president of Warner Brothers has never worked one day in the music industry, right? Listen to me. Now, his first statement. Music is the driving force to change in our world. What we push musically if these major companies, including Empire, are signing and putting out death music, well, about black folks. You don't give a damn about nothing except your bottom line. Now understand something. You're talking to a man that sold over 24 million records with my clients. From 1994 until right now, we're still going. So I'm not talking about no chump change. We've made money just in my record company, Shepard Lane. We made a lot of money for people. Okay, saying that to say, with all this money that's being made by these major labels, why aren't they doing something collectively to help the black community? What is the problem?
Man.
What is the problem? Okay, now understand something. I'm not going to name no names until I have to, and I will if you push me, like the people at Empire. Okay, the man, one of the men over there who I tried to contact back in, what was that, I tried to contact him about maybe 4 weeks ago to talk about helping the black community. I didn't get no answer, but guess what? Back in 2008, when this young man was working for Dub CNN and couldn't get nobody to give him any time of day, he called me repeatedly. Stan, would you help me? Stan, would you help me? If you can let me get an interview with you, it would help my career. I said, I don't do interviews, but I'll help you, which I did. And the interview was all over. I can send it to you anywhere I want, anytime you want. But now when I call, now you go on and do what you're going to do. You're promoting Black death. And so when I call you to talk to you about it, you ain't got the courtesy to call me back. Well, guess you, partner. That's what I feel. Everybody at these record companies that's putting out this Black death music. You ever seen a baby's brains blown out?
Ooh.
I have. Sick of it.
Well, you know what, Stan? I'm gonna tell you something else. A lot of the old school hip hop players are sick of it all. So I'm a member of the Hip Hop Alliance with KRS-One, Chuck D, Curtis Blow, a whole bunch of folks, man. We do our calls on a weekly basis. I'll be more than glad to send you the link next time. But I think we do it on Friday this week.
That would be amazing.
We are East Coast and West Coast old school players banding together to do whatever we can to detour this attitude of death and promotion of death to our youngsters. Because these cats ain't making it to 30, man. You know, I'm old. You old, okay? But ain't nothing like being old. They'll never know that. They'll never know that. Okay.
Let me share something with you. I'm gonna share something with you. You know my history, Lonzo, and you know my history, Dusty. My whole family, back from the 1950s, were gangsters. There's nothing I don't know about this industry and the people who make it move. Okay. Now I'm saying that to say, gangsterism runs the record industry.
Yes, sir.
If you ain't a gangster, you ain't got no clout. Every record company executive has their clutches into some gang leader somewhere. Yeah, I got my hookups with the Crips and the Bloods and the Brims and the GDs and the BD. You ain't got no hookups with nobody, punk. They use you just like you use them. This is a terrible business. And we got to stop screwing each other or it's going to continue with this bullshit. Nobody gives a damn about anybody in black music. Get somebody with a name to try to help you with an artist who you're trying to develop. They'll charge you out their ass. Ain't nobody helping nobody. Unless you're in their camp, they ain't helping you. Don't tell me about this black unity shit. Ain't no black unity. It's black money. You ain't got no money, you ain't got no clout. Guess what? I got some motherfucking money. And I got some goddamn clout. And I'm tired of you punks. All you record company executives, you black music executives, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. How dare you put out this bullshit? How dare you? And those people over at Empire that are signing checks, are those the same people that called me quietly and asked me to help them with Chris Brown? You know who I'm talking about. Don't give me the talking. I'm in these streets. And I'm sick of it. Ain't a Crip, ain't a Blood, ain't a Pyru, ain't a Brim, ain't a GD, ain't a DD, GD, BD, Vice Lord, whatever. I can get to anybody and talk to them. And my God, this is sickening. And how can you executives, you young executives, let this shit go on?
Because niggas
stop these people.
Niggas are
And
disposable.
why isn't there a black distribution system? always have to go through somebody else. Always begging for some shit. Oh, give me this, give me that. Black folks don't need nothing from nobody. Man, when I get going, this is what pisses me. This is why I don't like to do interviews.
I ain't mad at you, Doc.
I don't like to do interviews because it's bullshit.
Mr. Shepard, I fought back tears a couple times tonight, man. I haven't ran into someone with this much passion for my cause as me in a long time. So I just want to thank you, man.
Man, I lost Mossberg. I took Mossberg on his 21st birthday to Las Vegas because he wanted to be with me. I love these young guys, man. I love Sugar Free. I love Battle Cat. I love Quick. I love Cocaine. I love Glasses Malone. I love Code 187. These are all people I work with. I don't want them to have no trouble. Please help me do what I'm doing to get these record companies to stop putting out this bullshit, man. It's fucked up going to funerals, man. I'm Lonzo, Dusty. I'm sorry, man, but
Don't apologize.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Don't
Y'all
apologize.
asked me to be real. I'm being real as I can.
I appreciate the information. I appreciate the conversation.
Definitely. This needs to go viral. If we had the reach of an Adam 22 or a Drink Champs or something, this would go viral overnight. Unfortunately, we don't. I'm asking everybody out there listening, share this because this needs to be shared. This needs to be shared.
It really needs to be shared. Brother, do you know 600 and over 600 black kids and teenagers killed in Chicago? And it ain't even, it's just November 1st.
Right.
2,800 wounded, 2,800.
1,300 in wheelchairs.
1,300 paralyzed. I'm trying to raise $20 million to set up the Chicago Institute of Peace. Young people, all of the functions to do music. I can bring in superstars to educate these young people, to show them how to do mixing and mastering and recording. And I'm asking for these people to help me raise this money to put this institute together. I know enough of the bangers here in Chicago where we can have this a gang-free zone. I'm asking the record companies to help me. Y'all are making billions. Chicago is the epicenter of death. It's the epicenter of Black death. Help me. Don't reject my cause. I'm not trying to bring you no negativity. I need your help. I don't mean to bring any negatives to any of you business people, but man, come on. These young Black kids are suffering here, man. 600 dead. Oh man, I'm all right, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Thank you for saying that. This needs to go viral. This should go viral. I don't have much else to say, man. Lonzo, talk to me, man.
You know what? On a lighter note, I gotta say this. I like that shirt, guys. On a lighter note, I like that shirt.
Oh yeah, fly. Yeah. Mr. Shepard is definitely fly, man.
But
Thank you. First of all, I want to say this. Lonzo, you're such a major figure, and Dusty, you're such a great young man for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity, uncontrolled, whatever you want to. whatever you want to say, to let me say what I was saying. I really appreciate you guys, man, a great deal.
Show, Doc.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And this is not going to be the last that we talk. We are all going to get together in some form or fashion because this message needs to get out here. And there's probably no three people in the world who are more passionate about this than the three people right here on this screen. So thank you, Mr. Shepard. We'll let you get to the rest of your night. I know it's late there in Chicago. I just want to tell everybody if they want to contact Stan Shepard, it's stanshepard2020 @gmail. And it's not Shepard in the standard way. It's SHEPPARD. It's stanshepard2020 @gmail.com. And if there's anything else you would love to promote or anywhere else they can get in contact with you, please let us know now, Mr. Shepard.
Well, there's something that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. And it's a young man out of the south side of Chicago by the name of ESCD, Eastside Crazy D. We're working on this project. Be looking for it because it's really incredible. I got DJ Battlecat helping me with this, and it's going to be an incredible project. So thank you for everything once again. And just know you have a person that really appreciates what you do out here.
It's your passion, Doc. Much love. All
Likewise, man. Mr. Shepard, thank you so much. You have a great night, okay?
All right, peace.
Hey, before we head out, Lonzo, we got to give love to the chat because the donations tonight have been so awesome, dude. I don't know if you've been seeing, but you guys are really amazing. And that just shows that you love this content. But let me give a shout out really quick to Anthony Atkinson for the 20. Really appreciate you, man. Shout out to Matt Treese for 20. Shout out to OG Steve, Bronx in the building. Always representing, always, man, since day one. Shout out to G-Rock. Shout out to our boy Marlon Cozy, who was once again always just showing mad love on my show and on Lonzo's show. And if you guys can please, whoever's listening right now, subscribe to Dusty Vision TV right here on YouTube. Man, great show tonight. I'm sorry I broke down, Lonzo. This is the fight, man. People don't, when no one's looking, man, this is the shit that makes me cry, dog. When I read 59 people shot and then I read a story about a little kid getting shot on the way to, it's fucked up, man.
Dusty, this is why I don't edit this show, man. This is exactly why I don't edit this show. Now, you take clips out of the show and you do reels or mini clips, whatever the case may be, but it's real hard to take the show pre-recorded and give people a edited version of this man's story and his passion, okay? This is one of the few cats that's been in hip-hop as long as I have. But he came from another genre, but he came from a whole nother mindset. And to go from love songs to gangster songs, that's got to be a mental cultural shock beyond belief. Okay. And the part that we have to understand is no amount of money is worth a human life, man. But when you're pictured as being disposable by industry, because as soon as one of these young brothers die, another one ready to pick up the gun and the microphone and do the same shit. Another one's ready to pick up a microphone and a gun and talk the same shit. And these guys, their whole lifespan is 5 years, or they don't care about. They don't have a 5 or 10 year plan. They trying to get rich as soon as they possibly can. And if they blow up and blow out like candles, they don't care. They blow up and blow out, man. And, it's like fucking skyrockets, like candles. They blow up, pow, and you never see them again. And next time you hear about them, it's about, the story about how they pass. And these goddamn shows are getting fucking old, dude. They're getting fucking old, Dusty. I love being with you on every Tuesday. I love my chat room. I love doing this show, man. But this conversation about death is fucking old. It's fucking old. The whole mentality of what we're dealing with in the hip hop is fucking stale. It's only getting worse. When shit gets stale, usually a motherfucker throws it out and comes with something else. Why do we keep on eating stale shit? How do we keep on eating stale shit? How do we keep on dealing with stale shit? It ain't fucking cool. Man, stop saying that shit is cool. This shit is dope. I sent you a video of a young girl, pretty young girl. She's somebody blue. She representing Crips. Okay, pretty young girl got the gang. So now we didn't turn this whole thing into a how many Crips can we get on and have records? How many Bloods can we have records? And I'm gonna say something, man. I know people ain't gonna like this right here. I'm gonna say it because I said it this morning. I was as proud as I was to be a part of the Super Bowl with Eve After Dark, to see folks crip walking at the Super Bowl like it was a cha-cha or something. I got phone calls on that, man. I got phone calls. People were really upset behind that. And it's like no matter how we try to suppress or try to let it go, certain people keep on keeping it relevant. Okay. And when you keeping it relevant like that, man, it ain't gonna never go away. But ain't nobody winning. A few people win, but is your win worth a mass loss? Okay. You may win your little battle, but for the most part, we losing the fucking war. We losing soldiers and soldierettes like nobody's fucking business. You know, I got a dream, man. I got this dream that Crips and Bloods took the violence out of the gang banging and became street fraternities. And instead of being proud of how many cats you got walking in the yard, they became proud of how many guys they got walking across college stages. Okay. College stages.
I wouldn't mind seeing a bunch of people crip walking across the college stage. I would not have a problem with that.
Across the goddamn college stage, you know, cap and gown, motherfucking dance on. Dance the fuck on, okay? Why can't all we ask, we not asking you to stop representing your hood. We saying, man, stop killing each other. Find another way. Y'all should be smart enough for 2022 to figure out another way to handle your differences other than killing folks. You got phones. Y'all can't, breakdancing was designed back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s for gang rivals. That was a way of dancing. Chicago stepping was another way of settling their differences when it came to gang rivals. It's a bitch-made society when everybody and everything got to carry a gun and got to, nobody has no, I don't want to even promote the violent situation. Nobody has no skills or the common sense to walk away. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds it takes to pull the trigger or less. Just got you 25 years to life. Okay. And I was telling somebody, I got a buddy of mine who's an attorney. He said before you take a phone call for somebody that's in jail for murder, somebody need $20,000, $25,000. You need $25,000. That's just to go for the lawyer to go visit you. Now, if you got some questions, if your bail gonna be another $250,000, that's gonna be another $25,000. So you about $50,000, and you ain't went to court yet. You just trying to get back home after you shot a motherfucker. If you ain't got nobody but $50,000 cash and a house, you're not leaving the fucking jail. Oh, trust me, that shit you think about with the gas gone, that don't apply to shooting motherfuckers. Okay. That don't apply to shooting people. Getting home, going home free. Yeah, if you got still some shit and some non-violent shit, you might get slapped on the wrist, go home the same day. When you pull the triggers, your ass gonna post up for a while. So somebody got to put something up. Okay. And the cost, the impact. I was talking to a friend of mine today. His son did some dumb shit and caught a case, and he personally got broke just to get him a year. Personally got broke. Even in that year, this son is going through hell while he's in jail because he ain't built for that shit. He ain't built for that shit. Okay, he's not built for the brutes and the punishment that comes along with being locked up in jail. Not, most cats ain't. That's why they click up in jail to try and keep people off their ass, or they end up doing a little something, in the bunk to keep people, because they ain't got no money. They got to service somebody to survive. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Everybody want to be a gangster. It's time to go to jail.
Man. One of my favorite shows in a long time. Lonzo. Any last words, man?
Man, I thank Stan for coming on the show. Folks, y'all know me. I can do this show by myself. But when somebody got something to say, like Stan Shepard, my ass is quiet, he must be saying some heavy shit. When I get quiet on my show and let this brother just speak his mind, okay? Somebody who I respect, never met him before, but his name been ringing bells for a long time. And every once in a while, even the OG got to step back, the triple OG, say what he speak his mind. And I'm glad he came on the show. Dusty, thank you for contacting him and bringing him on the show. I hope y'all appreciated what he was trying to say, man, because y'all got kids, man. Y'all, most of y'all got kids. Y'all don't want that shit, that pain in your house, man.
Oh, that's my biggest fear, homie. That's my man.
That shit, man. You don't want that fucking shit, okay? That shit is, you know, Takeoff's mama is going through fucking hell right now. Man. His family is going through fucking hell right now. You don't want that fucking pain, man. That's why I do what I do, man. It's hood peace, dude. I gotta tell you, man. True story, man. It's the true fucking story. The day my son was born, August 23rd, 2002. I cut the cord on my son that morning. Another man's son died in my parking lot the same fucking day. Same fucking day. That shit's been fucking with me for decades, man. That shit's been fucking with me for 20 fucking years, man. I don't want that. I had to go to court. They sued me for everything I had, man. They sued the shit. And I didn't do nothing. It wasn't my fault. I didn't know the kid. I didn't know the shooter. I didn't know nothing. But he died in my parking lot. That's all they needed. He died in my parking lot. I didn't know nobody. I didn't see nothing. I couldn't tell nobody shit. I'm on the phone talking to my wife about my son being born. I'm happy as a motherfucker. Before the clock hit 12 o'clock, my life was fucked up. I had to go to court, and I'm sitting in court. They testifying. I'm crying like they are, cause shit, man. Looking at kids' pictures, man's pictures, and girlfriend and prom pictures and shit, and moms. If I could have wrote this kid family a check to bring this kid back, fuck it. But ain't no amount of money. I'm gonna write these people. I'm gonna give these people. And I ain't had no insurance. That's what really was fucked up. This is coming out of my ass. I'm talking about from my ass. I'm not talking about some insurance situation. I get to go home. No. I felt the pain from the court to the settlement. Fucked me up financially. I'm glad. I'm lucky to still be in my house after all that shit, man. That's why I do this show. That's why I do what I do. That's why I do Hood Peace. You don't want that shit in your life, man. To sit there 7 days and listen to people testify how good a kid this kid was, and yet and still see him get murdered by an asshole because he had a fucking guy didn't even do nothing to the guy. It was a fight. Guy just trying to make a name for himself and just shot the kid, man. And dude, all I could think about was my own kid, man. And dude, that almost fucked me up. And even today, man, I check on he grown ass man. I check on him like he a fucking kid. I know it may be an overkill, but hey, man, it is what it is, Don. And I'm not.
When I get up in the morning, my son moved out about a year ago, and when I get up in the morning or in the middle of the night to, use the restroom or anything, always check my phone, and it's something that you just wouldn't understand if you don't want that pain in your household, man. Because I know people who've had it, and it's sad, dude.
One of my ex-girlfriend's sisters, both of her sons, just gone for no fucking reason. One got shot, the other one fucking with some other shit, man. I don't know if it was COVID or what, but just gone. Both of them. Last time I saw the last one before he bypassed, he was still crying from his brother getting killed. And next thing I know, I get a phone call, he's gone. Dog, man. No, dude, that shit ain't, dude. We got to do something, man. It ain't. We
are. This is what we're doing. And if I die tomorrow, like I'm fine with knowing that what we're doing is gonna stay around for a long time.
This ain't got nothing to do with Biden. This ain't got to do with the police department. This is our responsibility, man. If we don't stand up to this bullshit, it's gonna keep on. It's gonna keep on. It's gonna knock on everybody. It's gonna start knocking on niggas' door that your door. And goddamn it, don't answer that motherfucker. It's like a vampire. It can't come in. It can't come in unless you allow it. If we keep on supporting this bullshit, this is just gonna keep on happening.
Yeah, man. Good show, Alonzo. I think we needed this. I think the world needed this tonight. And I'm gonna ask everybody, we've been up to about 70, almost 80 people tonight. If everybody in here, if you have a Facebook, if you have an Instagram or something, please copy the link to this and just share it. That's all I'm gonna ask. Like, we don't have a big reach. If this were on a bigger platform tomorrow, Alonzo, we would wake up and it would be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But we have a small platform, 13, which is, you know, we're happy with our small platform, but it's smaller, and we need you guys out there to spread the word. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you like what you heard tonight, you know, please share this on your Facebook, on your YouTube, on your TikToks, whatever. Make clips of it. Please, please, please. I'm out, Lonzo. Any last words, man?
Chat room, thank y'all for watching, man. We are an hour and 20 minutes today, folks. I got to show you, we really felt this show, and we needed this cleansing, man. Pray for Takeoff family, and man, dude, I'll pray for all of us, dude. All right, man. We out here.
Peace, Lonzo. Love you guys.